Hey, I'm Scott.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Doxologic, where we help you think with your Bible.
What is the connection between discipleship and salvation? Because salvation is clearly through faith alone and not works. How does that relate to Jesus' call to follow me and to count the cost of following him?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Connection between discipleship and salvation. First place I would go is discipleship is an outworking of our salvation. I think about even Philippians chapter 2, and I could turn there here. I don't have my Bible in front of me, but I've got it on my computer. And the idea of working out the salvation that has been worked in us. This is Philippians 2:12. I'm in the middle here, but it says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is God who works in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure." So the discipleship is the walking out or the working out of the changed life that we have in Jesus. And some people, you maybe have seen this too, Zach, they attempt to talk about like being a disciple before being a Christian.
Yep.
And they might even talk about the disciples of Jesus and, well, they didn't get it for 3 years and they followed Jesus. I would just say we're creating an argument out of a story as opposed to considering after Christ that all those who are followers of Jesus are those firstly who are saved by him, born again of his free grace, and then we live that out in a life that grows, and that's what discipleship is.
Salvation involves so many components that really it's one united whole, but we tend to see it broken down into like the Spirit's regenerative work beforehand, before we come to like a saving knowledge of who Christ is. He's the one that redeems us and brings us to life. And then a justification that happens when we confess in faith in Jesus. We are justified before God. And then sanctification and discipleship go on for the rest of our lives. And then there's glorification as we get to be in perfection with Christ. And so with this, it's really hard to then want to try to draw these dividing lines for like, when do these transition processes happen from one to the next? And the Bible doesn't want us to do that. It wants us to see that salvation is this holistic, united whole where individuals confess faith that has been given to them by God's Spirit, and then they live that out. Think of every second half of a New Testament book, or the whole book. If it's the book of James, James is constantly getting on the fact that like faith without works is not true faith. It actually isn't fleshed out and actually alive and living. And discipleship is a core component of salvation, genuine salvation that is living unto the Lord. Yeah.
Great.
Anything to add to that?
No, you guys nailed it.
Awesome.
Sweet.
You've been listening to Doxologic, a podcast by Doxa Church in Rockland, California. To learn more, visit doxachurch.net.